All right, we are on. Oh, wow, we already have a lot of comments here. Holy cow. I haven't even looked through these yet. Oops, turn this down. All right, how you guys doing today? I am exhausted. I am so freaking tired. Wow. Hey, Mike, hope you're doing good. Sadly, it's almost 4 a.m. here in Japan. To go to bed in not too long. Hope everyone enjoys the live stream. Say hi for me. What's going on, man? Appreciate you hopping on for whatever time you had. Oh, rock and roll. How's everyone doing today? We doing good? All right, I'll take the first question here while we're waiting for everyone to hop on. Thoughts on My Chemical Romance? I'm only familiar with, well, really familiar with 3 of their albums. Kind of know about one of their albums. I think it was the one after Black Parade, and that was okay. Their first 3 albums were pretty solid. Very first album, you could definitely tell it was a little slightly amateurish, but there's a lot of passion there. That was pretty cool. But yeah, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge and Black Parade are both really good albums. I enjoy them. I didn't think I was going to enjoy them either, because the whole like emo scene thing is not my thing by any means. But yeah, those guys got some talent. Definitely do. Hello from Hungary. What's going on? Oh God. All right. Shit. I was up there and I got knocked down to the bottom of the comments. Hello from Hungary. Where did you get that sick dragon from? So this guy here is actually from the Ripley's Believe It or Not thingy in Fort. Wait, fuck, where is it? St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah, they had like a gift shop at the end of Ripley's Believe It or Not, and I'm sure I paid way too much money for it, but I was just like, fuck it, I want it. That thing's badass. Yeah. What's your opinion on metalcore? It's whatever. It's not really my thing. I haven't dove too deep into it. I just feel like I have similar feelings to it the way that I feel about pop punk. It just feels a little immature to me on multiple levels. It's not all that way. I know that for sure. That's just the way it comes off with a number of bands I've listened to in that genre. There's definitely a number of bands that were heavily influenced by metalcore that I actually can get into. So, you know, I'm not just going to write the genre off, but for the most part, I wouldn't call myself into it. What's up, Mike? What's up, Wing0172? Oh, by the way, if you do, wow, brain fart. If you do super chat, I will read your question immediately, unless I'm in the middle of answering a question already. But yeah, those guys get priority. Hey, Mike, you excited for Tool's new album since it's actually confirmed now? I'll believe it once it drops. That's all I'll say. And once it does drop, if it's a real thing, am I excited for it? No more than I would be for just regularly listening to Tool. I don't know. I always enjoy listening to Tool. I always do. But it's never one of those things I'm like, oh, you know what I'm really in the mood for? So I don't know. I'm kind of apathetic about it. What do you think of Avenged Sevenfold? I'm pretty sure I covered most of that in the fucking Kids React video. But yeah, I mean, Avenged Sevenfold is a good band. I really enjoy some of their work, other stuff of their work. Pardon me. Other selections of their work I think are kind of meh, but I think that goes for a lot of bands. I think they're super talented guys. They're guitar players, Sinister Gates, and I forget the other guy's name. I want to say his name is Zach. He's also left-handed, which is really cool. They're both super talented. They kind of go through drummers real fucking quick ever since the Rev died. But yeah, super talented guys. Love from Greece. Thank you. I would totally call your name out, but I cannot read those characters. I apologize. We got our first super chat. This is from Trey, who says, "Why are you not the biggest fan of Megadeth? How many albums have you heard in totality from them?" So I'm not the biggest fan of Megadeth, mostly because of Dave Mustaine's singing voice. Mostly. They do write some good songs. As far as the number of albums I've heard in totality, I would say 3 that I've heard in totality. And that would be Symphony of Destruction, their latest one, which I don't remember what it was called. It was the newest one where Dave definitely took a different approach to his singing, which I actually really liked. I appreciated that a lot more. And there was I forget what the other one was, but yeah, really what it boils down to for me the most is his singing voice. There are other things too, writing wise, that I'm not a huge fan of, but I can really dig the talent that it took to write some of that stuff. I can really dig the talent of the guitar players. Never noticed anything crazy awesome about their drummers. The drummer's always really solid and definitely has great technique, but nothing that was like, wow, that was really cool there. Wow, that was really cool there. I feel like the guitars definitely are front stage in that band. And fuck, I forget the bass player's name. I know he's really fucking good. Something Ellefson, I want to say. Fuck, he's in Metal Allegiance. He's a damn good bass player too. He's got a great tone, fantastic tone. But yeah, that's really a big thing. Holy shit. I will be right at that super chat in a minute. Yeah, they have amazing tone, and they do write some good songs, just not quite my thing. And there's no offense to them at all. Trust me. I think Dave Mustaine, especially after he's cleaned up and everything, is badass. He's great. All right. What's your take on Gojira, Periphery, and other prog-esque bands? First of all, I love Periphery. I haven't listened to much of the album after Juggernaut, and I think there's just starting to release another one now. I forget what it's called. But I mean, as far as Periphery 1, Periphery 2, and Juggernaut, both CDs, they were all great for what they were, and I think you could see a fantastic evolution between them. As far as Gojira, most of the Gojira that I've listened to has been through Song Suggestion Friday. That's actually how I was introduced to them. That band is fantastic. I really like them. The only Gojira song I've listened to so far that I wasn't like really enjoying as much was the last one for this past Song Suggestion Friday. I think it was Born in Winter. I know a number of you guys really enjoyed it, which is great. You know, by all means, have at it. But just for me, it just didn't quite get there for me. It was a little too moody, and when I say moody, I mean more of like trying to create a vibey, I think is more the better word I'm looking for. A little too vibey for me. I'm not as much into vibey music. It takes a particular kind. But like those types of bands, I love. Like I would even lump Opeth in that same category. And I think you guys are familiar with how much I love Opeth. Yeah, they're fantastic. I think they're part of pioneering the next generation, and people are going to copycat them until there's another group of guys. Just like something clicks, and that's the next step forward. So yeah, I think those guys are fantastic. They're a huge part of moving it forward. Dandelion, you're fucking awesome. Thank you so much. I fucking appreciate you. Yo, what's up, Mike? I assume your comment section's banshee screams about the new Judas Priest album have been off the walls, and I'm just here to contribute. Have a great stream, man. I saw that a new one was released, and I do need to check it out. I definitely do. As a matter of fact, I was considering doing an album review on it, but it might not be until May. There's a reason for that. And it's not just because I'm busy, although I am really busy. But yeah, I was actually really stoked to see that Priest released a new album. I don't know when the last time it was that they released one, but I'd be very interested to see what this one's all about, especially with how metal has evolved over the last few years, since they were very much in the forefront of the metal scene. But you should be seeing some commentary from me on that. If not in a Song Suggestion Friday, then definitely in a form of some kind of review coming up, because that's something I would love to dive into. Dandelion, seriously, I greatly appreciate your super chat. Alrighty. We have Dylan. Thoughts on Smashing Pumpkins? I think they have one of the best discographies of the last 30 years. I haven't listened thoroughly through their discography. I have listened to 2 albums and a couple of songs interspersed throughout. And I haven't listened to, I didn't get a chance to actually sit down and listen to them until like last year, actually, is when I actually started listening to more than just the stuff you hear on the radio. When I listen to the stuff that I hear on the radio, my initial take was, this is good. Nothing crazy, nothing really complicated, but a really interesting tone, great use of melody over top of a riff, but nothing groundbreaking. And then I started going past the radio stuff, and I was like, wow, there's actually some really interesting shit here. Like, very interesting. I was quite surprised and pleasantly surprised. It was fabulous. Really, really, really fabulous. So my opinion, I don't know if I could say they have one of the best discographies only because of my own ignorance of not listening to all of it yet. But from everything that I've listened to outside of their pop hits, they got some great talent, excellent production, like mind-blowingly good production on some of their songs. They definitely put a lot of thought into their stuff. There was one music video by them that I think there's like a rocket ship involved or something, and they go to the moon or something. It was based upon one of these old movies. It was inspired by one of these old movies. And my person I was dating at the time was really like all about this and thought it was so great. And I was like, the music's okay. The music video is okay. I don't get why you like it. But, you know, like any other band, they have their things that I really love and their things I'm just kind of like, meh. But anyway, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Anybody else want to do a super chat? I will be reading yours. Whoops, I did not mean to hide the chat. I need to find out where that chat's at. Let's show the chat. Okay. There we go. Here, we're going to scroll down to the bottom here for a second. Oh, I think I saw. Hey, what's going on, Puerto Rican Beast? Doing all right, my friend? I haven't heard from you in a while. All right, let's scroll down a little bit here. Calzo says, I hope you're well. I hope you are as well. See what else is going on here. Hello from Greece. More people from Greece. It's pretty awesome. I really need something like your stream. Tough day. I'm sorry, no future. I'm very sorry for your day. I'm happy to be helping you out with the stream. Favorite Dream Theater album. Dude, all right. I'm going to premise this by saying I don't know if I can pick a favorite. It's really tough. And I kind of want to reserve answering that question specifically because once I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will start doing top 10 videos. And one of those things will be top 10 Dream Theater albums. So I'll have to make a decision at that time. I definitely will. That's really tough. That's really, 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 really tough. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can give you a quick answer on that. All right, we got another super chat here for 10 euros. Stefan says, hello, Mike. Have you watched the recent Bat Metal Forever? If so, thoughts? Keep up the good stream. Appreciate you, Stefan. Yes, I have watched the new Bat Metal Forever. I've gotten a ton of people requesting that I do a reaction to it. So anytime I pick a video to react to, I try to make sure that at least it's somewhat relevant either to what I'm trying to further or to try and draw in as large of an audience as possible. So those are always things on my mind. And Bat Metal Forever would be a huge candidate for drawing in a ton of people, guaranteed. The other factor that I look at is what can I really add to this, or what value can I add to this video that's not already going on? Unless I'm missing some context, which I don't think I am, there's not a whole lot of insight I can add into it. It's just kind of fun. It's a super fun video that I love the Bat Metal videos, all of them. As a matter of fact, like one of my favorite songs now is frickin' Mermaider by Death Clock. That's probably one of my favorite songs by them. Just because of that music video. The music video is ridiculous. Not music video, but you know what I mean, the Bat Metal video. So I've definitely considered it, and I considered doing Bat Metal Forever. I'm like, what can I add to this? But I just couldn't think of adding anything to it. I love them. They're great. They really are. And I'm so happy that Arby's is able to take his time and actually make some fabulous animation. Really, really, really good animation. Like, I wish that dude could get hired by a studio. Oh, actually, kind of not, because it's kind of probably ruin him. He's talented enough to get hired by a studio. But at the same point, I'm happy he's doing his own thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Dakota Ream. Have you listened to Fit for a King? If you have, what are your thoughts? They are my favorite band. If not, check out the album Descendants. Don't think I've even heard of Fit. Oh no, I have heard of Fit for a King. I feel like Ben, hashtag shame Ben. I feel like he actually told me about these guys. I'm gonna actually make a note right now so that I don't forget. Fit for a King. I will listen to at least one track. They're my favorite band. Check out the album Descendants. All right. I'd be interested to know what kind of style that is. That name could kind of go anywhere. Appreciate you very much. Very, very much. All right. Man, ooh, we got 279 watching. Getting higher and higher. You ever listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan? What kind of a question is that? Of course. Of course I've listened to Stevie Ray Vaughan. One of the great masters of blues. He is arguably the best blues guitarist out there. Arguably. I don't know that I would call him that, only because I don't think I'm nearly versed enough in the blues players that are out there to really make that call. But I mean, the guy is outstanding, outstanding, like ridiculous. Yeah. A funny story about Stevie Ray Vaughan. He actually hated his singing voice. He despised it. But everyone else seemed to love it. I think it's a great singing voice, especially for the blues. Oh man, his singing voice for the blues is dope. Really, really good. All right. This is from Ian Duncan. Sorry. What is your opinion of Broadway style music? Also, have you ever heard of the band Fozzy? So, two separate questions. My opinion on Broadway style music. I like the earlier Broadway style music. And when I say earlier, I mean like early, and also like basically the stuff up to about the 2000s period. I felt like it started to get way up its own ass and started to incorporate too many elements of modern pop, which kind of gets on my nerves. Either way, I mean, Broadway style music is some of my favorite. I think there's some awesome songs out there that are both super catchy, super singable, and actually really creative and much more moving than anything you're going to get on pop radio by far. Some of them really suck as well with anything else, but there's some fantastic songs out there. Definitely underrated in modern society, but at the same time, a little bit too far up its own ass. All right. Scroll down a little further. When will you finally listen to Cynic? I don't know. I have no clue. Thoughts on other metal genres? It's too broad of a question, Anonymous. That is far too broad. Otherwise, I would be happy to answer that for you. What do you think of Avenged Sevenfold? I already answered that question. Do you know Orbit Culture? No, I do not know Orbit Culture. Hey, Mike, what's your favorite metal band? I'm not sure if I've answered this before. So let's take the prog guys out of this question, because I would absolutely pick a prog guy, and it would probably be yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough anyway. If I had to pick a favorite metal band, taking the prog guys out of the picture, it would probably be Metallica. And that's because they were my first metal band, and because I am stupidly familiar with their catalog, with the exception of the last album. that they came out with. Forget what it was called, but yeah, that last album was kind of for me. I didn't quite do anything for me. It wasn't terrible by any means. I just feel like a lot of the soul of a lot of the early thrash that they were trying to recapture on this latest one was kind of gone. And even Death Magnetic, it felt like Death Magnetic to me had more soul than this latest one, personally. But yeah, that would probably be my pick. After that, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Marty asks, "Hey Mike, I love your videos. My favorite is Dream Theater Does Pop Better. What do you think of Amon Amarth?" I appreciate that, man. I really want to do more videos like that one, and I'm about to have more time to do them. The real issue is I don't have time right now. One of my commenters, who's I think he's a recent sub, was like, "What about Devin Townsend?" I'm like, "Yes, we can definitely dive into Devin Townsend. Absolutely." What made that particular video so great was the fact that I was able to utilize pop music in Dream Theater, which are like really touchy subjects for a lot of people in the metal and prog community. And also the fact that you get these people who are really into pop music who will jump onto that video, be like, "Huh, that's interesting," you know? So that's one of the reasons why that actually did as well as it did. But yeah, I would absolutely love to do more of those. As far as Amon Amarth, they're pretty dang good. I enjoy some of their stuff. Other stuff, I think the vocals just kind of grind on me a little bit, but they're dope as hell. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right. So we have, "Hey Mike, would you like to listen to some Mexican prog metal? The band's called Agora. You could listen to hold on. This thing's about to go away. Prog metal called Agora." I don't think I have listened to any Mexican prog metal. Agora. I'm not sure what MX50 means. Oh, it's Mexican $50. Okay. Rock and roll. Let me see. Hombre Machina. Sorry for the silence. Yeah, I'd be down to check that out. Righty. Oh shit. From Russia. Fucking A, man. I greatly appreciate you. Very, very much. "Hey Mike, thank you for the great content. With love from Russia." Back at you, man. I'm sorry our governments are being dicks to each other right now. I hope we can resolve that at some point. Because as far as I can tell, the people of both countries are pretty fucking badass. And we should just pull our heads out of each other's asses and just be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." Anyway, thank you for the great content. With love from Russia. Very happy when Gojira on SFPS. My name is Victor. GL on stream. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll keep an eye out for I'm assuming it's pronounced Victor, or I don't think it's Victor, because that would be our American way of pronouncing it, and most of my ignorance is showing. So there's that. But either way, I greatly appreciate you, man. Appreciate you very much. And yeah, I'll do my best to keep making stuff that you guys like to watch. It really means a lot to me that you guys actually get something out of this. I don't know why you do. I'm not complaining, but I'm starting to understand more what gap in the marketplace that I'm filling, and maybe even the gap culturally. So I really, really appreciate you guys. You've been helping me a lot as far as understanding what my place is in this crazy world. Anthony asks, "Mike, I've been trying to get into metal since the only metal I've really heard is Metallica, Megadeth, and Iron Maiden. Next step metal suggestions." It's very tough. So a lot of people, I'm going to try my best to answer your question, Anthony. So one of the hardest questions for me to answer as a person who understands a decent amount about how music preference works Just because someone says, okay, I like these 3 bands, what bands would you recommend? You can come up with some suggestions, but it's not like a guaranteed like answer or win. And I really don't like answering questions and giving incorrect answers. I hate doing it, even though I do it. You know, I do it as much as anyone else because I'm human and I err. But if I can prevent that and consciously prevent that, I try not to give answers that won't help someone. So, as far as that goes, during my time when I was listening to a lot of Metallica and Iron Maiden, I was also getting into Ozzy Osbourne, his solo stuff. He has some really great stuff there. Pantera has some fantastic stuff. And see, also for me during that time, I don't know what you're listening to other than metal. For me, I was also listening to guys like Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, and Joe Satriani. So basically, I was all concerned about the shred. I just wanted the speed, and the intensity. I loved the intensity. So I'm assuming that since you're saying I've been trying to get into metal, that you probably don't listen to much else. And it would be really tough for me to throw a suggestion out there to you that I really would believe in without knowing what your other music tastes are. If you're into stuff that's not quite as scooped, extreme, and loud, and like really strict as far as the beats and the timing, I would definitely look into bands like Baroness. Baroness is fucking awesome. I would also check out, what was the other one? Isis. Isis is a fantastic band as well, or Pelican. Pelican's totally awesome. And you could say Pelican and Isis aren't really metal, and you could even say that about Baroness, especially with their last 2 releases. They're not as metal, but definitely Baroness Red album. That thing was awesome. That's probably my favorite album by them. All right, I appreciate you, man. Can you do more headbang challenges but make them more difficult? Difficulty is in the eye of the beholder on that one, man. If you actually watch the end of the video where I did the headbang challenge, it's really up to a lot with the whatever the listener's subjective tastes are. So that whole thing of like you will lose is just to make people watch it. I obviously anticipated that there were people that were going to beat it. But no, I probably won't make another headbang challenge, chances are. Not to say that I won't ever, but it's really low likelihood. All righty. Another super chat. Amish Gypsy. Fabulous name. You think having a beanie is cool as yours will bring my dad home for... Wait, hold on. Okay. You think having a beanie is cool as yours? Okay. Will bring my dad home from his 20-year vacation. Mom said an abortion, but it's too late for that. P.S. Nice beanie. Don't know how to answer that. Either way, I appreciate the props on the beanie. I literally just wear it because I just don't sometimes have all of the time to do my hair up and make it nice and everything. So, thanks. Don't know what to say to that. With the social awkwardness of an Amish person as well. All right. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. We got it back. All right. Hey, Mike, what do you think of King Crimson and Scorpions? So I'm going to pick one of those bands. I will say King Crimson. So I think King Crimson is insanely talented. I think that they were super, super, super important to the development of what we call prog in today's standards. And they were, some of their stuff was really fabulous to listen to. There was a number of stuff from them that was really weird for me. Not that it was like totally off the wall, but just like I wasn't quite grasping onto what they were trying to go for. And, you know, personal preference. But yeah, they're fucking awesome. They're fantabulous. And I need to listen to more of their stuff. All right. From James, Do you think rock and roll could become mainstream once again in the near future? Maybe. There's a lot of things at work as far as what becomes mainstream. And here's the thing, like I if you're talking about rock and roll as just this really broad umbrella, yeah, I think it's possible. If you're talking about rock and roll as like specifically the way rock sounded in the 70s or like in the 60s, I would hope it doesn't. I would really hope that it doesn't. And specifically because we've already been there. We don't need to recycle stuff that we've heard before. There's enough new talent out there and new sounds to become popular on the airwaves that we don't need to go back to that. We don't need it. What we would really need, honestly, is a change in culture. And that's what I'm trying to do on my side, trying to change some of that culture. If you're talking about as a broad umbrella of like new rock and roll with new sounds and fun stuff and something that makes you think, yeah, I think it's possible. Even if it's just something that you have fun with, but it's just different than it used to be. Yeah, I think there definitely is room for that. But I don't know. There's a big part of me that kind of wants there to be no such thing as the mainstream, if you will. I mean, there always will be because everyone is going to universally say, okay, I really like this. So that'll become mainstream by default. But that'll be people's choice. And it won't be because a machine said, you'll like this. Why did you think I'll like this? Oh, because you'll like this. And because someone had enough money to pay a machine to put that out in front of millions of people. So, yeah, I think it's possible, but I don't know if it's necessarily the best thing all around. Opinions on Dropkick Murphys. Dropkick Murphys are cool. They're fun to listen to. Not my go-to. I wouldn't seek them out necessarily. But anytime I'm at a party or I'm hanging out with friends and they throw on Dropkick Murphys, it's like, all right, cool. It's a good time. Thoughts on Def Leppard. Super chats get answered first. Super chats get answered first. Thoughts on Mothers of Invention. So I will admit to my ignorance on this one. I don't know the differences between Frank Zappa's like regular shit and when he was with Mothers of Invention. I don't know if it's the same thing or different. But I do really dig Frank Zappa. I think his shit's really off the wall, but in a way that it makes me laugh because you can tell he's self-aware and you can tell he's actually really fucking smart. And especially like going back after listening to a bunch of Vai's stuff and growing up on Steve Vai, going back later in my life and listening to Zappa, you're like, wow, he had a huge impact on Steve Vai. And it's really cool. Really, really cool for me. So yeah, I enjoy it. The fucking chat keeps doing this stuff. I'm trying to scroll down one and it scrolls me down the whole way to the bottom. I hate you. Hate you, chat. Not you guys in the chat, the actual function of the chat. Thoughts on Bowie. David Bowie is crazy talented. It's a shame that he died. And I would call him somewhat visionary for sure. Honestly, I think a lot of the stuff that he did, I would consider prog. Honestly, not all of it, but there's a number of things for sure. The guy was crazy talented. All right, Sean. Hey, any chance you checking out my music? I play instrumental prog, EP. All right, so if you guys want me to check out your music and give you feedback on it, because I have so many requests to do it, I usually have to turn it down. But if you want to, send it to me in an email. I will send you back what my requirements are. I don't do it for free. It's just a heads up. I do not do it for free. I will be happy to look at it, but I will need you to send something to my PayPal before that happens. I haven't decided specifically on the rates yet. And it was actually, I already have some emails from people who want me to look at their stuff. So I will be sending that back to you. Same goes for anything that like you want, like on Song Suggestion Friday. You can email me. It will not go on the show. If you email me, I'll give you my feedback through email. But basically the same thing applies. So yeah, that is one way you can do that. And considering you did a super chat on it, I could give you some kind of a reduction on that because you threw that up in the super chat and that already goes to me. So we can work that out, brother, for sure. I'll give you a reduction on that. Ozzy fucking Pete. How the fuck are you, Ozzy fucking Pete? Ever heard of Obscura? If you have, do you like them? First of all, thank you as always, brother. You are fucking amazing. I have heard of Obscura. I don't think I've listened to them. I'll add that to the list here while I am waiting. And then Smith fan, which band to you is more overrated? Red Hot Chili Peppers or Nirvana? I would say, hold on, Obscura. Save. I will let you know, Ozzy fucking Pete, once I listen to them and make sure that I get back to you on that on one of our Skype calls. So I would have to say Nirvana, only because Red Hot Chili Peppers are not proclaimed as being geniuses. I think Red Hot Chili Peppers, in my opinion, make music that I find a lot more enjoyable. But I also know that Nirvana has probably impacted more people than Red Hot Chili Peppers has. So in that sense, I would still go with Nirvana as more overrated. But I mean, you're asking someone who's highly biased on that, so I probably don't give the best answer. Cade, have you listened to Rain Wolf? He's so dope. I have not. I have not listened to Rain Wolf. I am not familiar. Sounds like, I'm just going to give you a heads up. Sounds like something I probably wouldn't get into. But since you threw it on Super Chat, I will also add that to the list. And I appreciate you, my friend. All right. Let's see here. Thoughts on Death Grips. All right. So, Mr. Erickson, I have only listened to 2 or 3 Death Grip songs. And the ones that I've listened to, I have been wowed. Super wowed. I have gotten a number of requests for them on Song Suggestion Friday. And I really, really, really want to review them. And I actually want to make an effort because I could go out of my way and like listen to them in my own time. And then I feel like that taints my my hot take perception of doing Song Suggestion Friday reviews. So if there's something that I find really interesting or intriguing, I try not to listen to it until Song Suggestion Friday. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like I get a better, more open-minded review if I just do my first initial take on it. So I've been trying to get more of their stuff into the show, but they just don't get voted on. It's really, really fucking interesting listening to their take on hip hop. Really, really interesting. To the point where I could kind of call it prog hip hop, possibly. All right. Thoughts on Steely Dan? Steely Dan is not my favorite thing to listen to, but they have amazing production value. There's some songs of theirs I enjoy, other ones I find downright annoying. But really, yeah, they're fantastic. Fantastic musicians, fantastic productions all around. Thoughts on my thoughts. Oh, too many of them. Too fucking many of them. Thoughts on Theory of a Dead Man. I know that band, and I forget who the fuck they are. I want to say it's from the mid-2000s. What are your opinions on classical instruments in rock and metal setting? I love them. I absolutely love them. One of my favorite bands right now is Thank You Scientist. And they have a violin, they have a trumpet, and they have a saxophone. Granted, it's supposed to be more geared towards less classical and more jazz fusion type stuff, which is awesome. But geez, did another one. Shit, man. Yeah, I absolutely enjoy it a lot. I also have an affinity for that music because I grew up with classical. But yeah, I don't see why there would be any problem with it. I don't see why they wouldn't do it more often. Honestly, it kind of gets boring having the same ensemble over and over and over and over again. There's a lot more color. There's a lot more fun to explore when you can actually give yourself more instruments. There's a lot more interesting things. All right. Did I get in touch with James Norbert Ivani? He did reply to my email. I still need to just set up a Skype call with him just to like chat things out and see what's up. I also need to listen to more of his music before we make that call. So I'll also add that to the list as well. I believe he only has that one album out. James Norbert Ivani. There we go. Yeah, we did get in touch. We will be talking, and the idea is to definitely get him on the Snobcast at some point. Hopefully, if he's cool with it. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'll be reaching out to him. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Let's see here. Thoughts on Rush? They're fucking awesome. I will say this. After a while, some of their albums start to be like, okay, this is Rush. Okay, yeah, I've heard Rush before. But I mean, they write fantastic songs. Kind of like Dream Theater Syndrome, except for the fact that I just really enjoyed Dream Theater's sound. So that kind of goes away for me. But yeah, they're amazingly talented. Thoughts on Ailstorm? Very fun to listen to. Favorite Metallica song? That's like next to impossible to answer. Favorite Metallica song? Definitely not Enter Sandman, just because that song's been overplayed to death. Although it's a really fun song. You know what? I'm not going to answer that one either because that can be in a top 10 video. But I appreciate you, Eliza. Thoughts on Avatar? They're fun. They're weird, but they're weird in a fun way. All right, we got another one here. Hey, Mike, what do you think of Carnival and Australian alt-prog scene as a whole? I have not listened to Carnival. I have seen it suggested a number of times, and I have not listened to them. So I can't tell you for sure. I really wish I had a better answer for you on Super Chat, but I will also add that to the list. Add that to the list. Carnival. Okay. But yeah, I see them pop up in Song Suggestion Friday all the time. All the freaking time. And I've thrown them in, I think, once or twice into the poll. I did not know they were Australian. I did not know that whatsoever. But yeah, fucking A, man. Appreciate you. Periphery versus Tesseract. I kind of feel like Tesseract is Periphery light. That's my thoughts on it. I would definitely take Periphery. Not to say anything against Tesseract, not to say that they're copying or anything. That's just like my first impression. But yeah, freaking Periphery is awesome. Tesseract is great. I just kind of get more out of Periphery personally. What about U2? I think U2 is kind of overrated, honestly. I don't dislike them. I dislike the obnoxious fandom around them. And U2 fans aren't like obnoxious themselves. It's just like I'm listening to these tracks, and yeah, they're good songs, but I don't get why people are so passionate about them. I don't understand it. Other than that, I mean, it's good stuff. You know, nothing shameful about any of it. Nothing hackneyed. At least I don't think. What's your favorite Beatles song? Again, we'll have to save that for a top 10. Zappa always played with masters. Master of puppets, I'm pulling your strings. What's your opinion on Opeth's last 3 albums? That's a damn good question because the call kind of went crazy. So Heritage felt a little weird for me. I mean, first of all, because I was expecting something much heavier than what we got. So that was like a little bit of a shock to the system. And that was before I was appreciating classic prog rock as much as I do now. But I don't know. There was something a little too dark about it for me. Like you can objectively say Damnation is a very dark album, but it was almost kind of sweet. And in Heritage, I feel like they took a lot of the sweetness and kept a lot of the darkness and kind of a little bit of dementia in there too. But yeah, I mean, Heritage was a really good album, just not one of my go-tos per se. I actually loved Pale Communion. I thought that album was great. I know a lot of people differ with me on that one. But I really enjoyed that a lot. There's a number of songs on there I'll go to consistently. Specifically, River is an awesome song off of that one. I really enjoyed it, especially after you're expecting it to be more mellow. You're like, okay, I can accept this better. Sorceress, I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. There's nothing on there I'd say is like objectively bad by any means, but yeah, I don't know, man. It just didn't really do anything for me. Um, I think Mikhail losing his growl voice and shooting it to shit. I think that heavily affected and heavily informed their songwriting. I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating, but I think because of that too, he probably lost a little bit of what made Opeth in the first place, and he's kind of going in a different direction. Personally, I think that could. I think I had this argument with someone on the Linkin Park video. And it wasn't like an argument. It was just kind of like a back and forth. And, you know, should Opeth have rebranded? I don't remember what I said at the time, but I think there's definitely an argument to be made that they should have, even though I think I think I did make the argument that it was okay, only because Heritage and Pale Communion definitely still did have a very strong Opeth flavor. I feel like Sorceress departed from that quite solidly to the point where it didn't even really feel like Opeth to me anymore. But either way, yeah, those are my thoughts on it. James Norman Ivani has aphasia. Holy shit, he has a lot of things. So 1 album and 3 EPs. Also another EP coming with a keyboard solo by him. Fucking A. You were up to date on this motherfucker. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to listen to that much. I'll probably be able to run through the album. Chances are. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you very much. Yeah. I have to look through that. Hey, Mike, what's your favorite movie? That is tough. That is really tough. I don't know if I can pick one off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've sat down and watched a whole bunch of movies. An old American classic that is called The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is a fabulous, fabulous movie. Highly under-recognized, and I wouldn't say underrated. Just like there's not a whole lot of people that know about it. That was a fantastic movie. Really, really good. 12 Angry Men is also a really good movie. As far as more modern stuff, I have to look at my fucking bookshelf. I got some ones up there. Really enjoy Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That was a great movie. Fuck. I don't know, man. I don't remember. Oh, okay. I love Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was a great movie. I like a lot of Tarantino stuff. I don't know if I could pick one though. That's really tough for me. I probably would have been able to before. I think for a while, the Dark Knight, the second of the Nolan Batman movies, was probably my favorite movie for like a couple of years. That movie is fucking awesome. It's everything you want a comic book movie to be. Thoughts on Dragon Force? Do they deserve the hate they get? Son of a bitch, chat. Stop doing that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why they get all the hate that they get. I know that they got a lot of hate because they sound like this on the studio and they sound like shit live. And I've heard a handful of people say, oh no, they sound exactly the same live. So I don't know what to believe. I've never seen them live. But if that's specifically why they get the hate, is because they do this in the studio and then they sound like shit live, or they don't, or they do a lot of sampling or whatever live, like they don't actually play it all themselves. Yeah, I would say that they deserve it because fuck, what's the point? You know, you sell yourself as like, we can do the impossible, and you're just basically like hitting a sequence. That's not impressive. That's actually kind of lame. But I don't know why they get the hate that they do per se, so I can't say for sure. And also I would need to know that they're not actually playing it or they're not actually playing it well. So I can't say for sure, but just based upon that surface level analysis, yeah. Dahlia, Mike, hey, what's your favorite dessert? Oh, fuck. I don't know, man. I try to avoid dessert because I know it's super tasty and I know that makes me fatter, which I don't need any of that. I don't need any more of that. I got plenty where it is right now. I need to drop some of it. But if I had to pick, probably just ice cream, man. I'm a basic dude. I love me some fucking ice cream. I had an amazing dessert. It was a chocolate lava cake, but the lava portion of that cake was infused with cayenne pepper to die for. That shit was off the wall. All right. There's so many repeated comments. I know, dude. Let's see here. Thoughts on Load by Metallica. I think for what it was a decent album. I think that out of the context of the time makes it a better album than in the context of the time. In the context of the time, I could see why people would definitely get irritated by it and feel like they sold out a little bit. But yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. I think Reload was a little better personally. There's some fucking great songs off of Load. Some really, really good songs. Like Bleeding Me was awesome. I believe Outlaw Torn's on that one. Yeah, Outlaw Torn's fucking great. Fucking Until It Sleeps, awesome song. Yeah, so I mean, I don't understand why it gets as much hate as it does. It's mostly just by butthurt thrashers, but you know, it happens. Any beginner tips on how to critique music? So here's the thing. I didn't want to be a music critic and I still don't. I want to be a musician. I'm just kind of doing this as a way of, I've said this before, of gathering an audience to fucking, when I release my music, to have it out there and people will listen to it and appreciate it, hopefully, or tell me how I can do it better and I'll make it better. But as far as how to critique music, learn about it. Like, that's the most important thing. You can only make a critique upon something that you actually have some knowledge of or some experience doing. So go and learn about it, go and do it, practice. That way you can come back and be like, hey, this sucks. That's specifically why I can come off as the, you know, egotistical or overly confident, snobby asshole that I do on my videos, is because I know I can back it up. I'm not just saying this because I'm like, oh, this is shit. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, like I actually have talent. I can write my own songs that are actually good songs. I can play my own guitar. I used to be able to play drums pretty well. I can play my own fucking bass. I can record my own shit, mix my own shit, which I'm not the best at, but I can do it. I can fucking do it. So yeah, go get good. Go get as good as you can. And it's not a destination, it's a journey. Just remember that. Okay, got another super chat from Ozzy fucking Pete. Goddamn, Mike, now I have to tell you, I've seen Dragon Force and they were killer live. Only sampling was for keyboards when Vadim couldn't tour, but otherwise they were great. Okay, I do remember that. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna just sample the keys, if you don't have a keys player, that's fine. That is totally okay. What I mean more of, like, if you're sampling and you have a keyboard player there and you have this like really complicated line, like the intro to Through the Fire and Flames. If all the keyboard player did was hit one button and it was just a sequence that played, which they can program that's dumb. That's stupid. But either way, I appreciate your input here, Ozzy fucking Pete. Ozzy fucking Pete. Oh. At Become the Night, thoughts on stoner metal. I can really take it or leave it. There's a handful of stoner metal that I can actually get into and really enjoy, but it's not really my thing. Hashtag Shane Ben is really into that shit. He loves himself some stoner metal stuff that's really vibey. Trying to fucking go back to where I was. Do you like Frank Sinatra? Yes, I love Frank Sinatra. He is fabulous. The only critique I have of Frank Sinatra is a lot of his songs sound the same, but he didn't really write them. So, you know, that's not really his fault. But yeah, his voice is amazing. His songs are great. Thoughts on Delta Blues. So here is one of my major downfalls and why I don't like doing huge critiques specifically on how good or bad blues is. I basically just say whether or not I like it. I don't know all the distinctions between all of the different blues that's out there. As far as I remember about Delta Blues, it's stuff like Muddy Waters, if I'm correct. And it's not as much my thing. It's a little too dirty for me. I kind of get more into of a Chicago's rhythm and blues sound. Yeah, Chicago blues is fucking awesome. But I mean, for what it is, it's soulful, like blues should be. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I don't have a super qualified opinion on that one. Hey Mike, if you were at a concert and the band asked for a volunteer to play a song with them, what band would you want and song would you play? Band asked for a volunteer to play. So you're saying like if I was gonna go up on stage and play with someone, specifically because I know I could play along with the Metallica. Definitely Metallica. That and also that crowd would be fucking intense. I would obviously love to say Dream Theater or Opeth, but I couldn't keep up. I mean, I couldn't keep up with Dream Theater, and I don't know that many Opeth songs offhand. Yeah, so it would have to be Metallica because I know a lot of their repertoire already, and because I know I could have a lot of fun with it, and you know, get up there and just like fuck off and still be able to play their shit. Yeah, that would probably be it. As a matter of fact, I've had a dream about that. That'd be fucking awesome. Appreciate you, my man. How many music critics don't know how to play music? How many music critics don't know how to play music? So I don't know because I don't know every music critic. I don't know because I don't even fucking I don't listen to music critics most times. Like, I really don't. The only one I actually pay attention to on a regular basis just because I find him somewhat entertaining. And because I think a lot of times his opinion's pretty damn good, especially on music I'm not familiar with, is Anthony Fantano. And I have no idea if he does anything as far as playing music. If I had to guess, just based upon a surface level, judging the book by its cover, I would say he probably does some kind of like indie rock mixed with electronic or something. He seems like he would be totally into electronic if he was making music. My guess, I have no clue. I don't even know if he plays an instrument, but I mean, they all have to play music to some degree. They all have to. You can't be a legitimate music critic and not know some basics of how to fucking play an instrument. You can't. Plain and simple. So I'm sure all of them have some idea of how to do it. I feel like a lot of them, especially, you know, nowadays, a lot of them do it just because they're passionate about it. Like, there was a guy who wrote like the rise and fall of prog rock or something like that. And he wrote for the Washington Post. He knows like no music theory and tried to give his perspective on it. And he is a music critic, but more of a music lover than anything else. Like he misses so much of what made it awesome because he doesn't have that theory background. But you know, he doesn't do music critique for a living. It's just his passion. Metallica or Megadeth? Metallica. That's easy. What are your thoughts on the album Octavarium? I think it's amazing. I know that there's like a whole concept to it with like eights or whatever, a whole bunch of eights all over the fucking place. I haven't looked into that. I just like listening to it and enjoying it. There's like one or two songs or probably three songs on there I'm just kind of like meh, but the rest of the songs I really, really like a lot, especially the title track, the last track, fucking fire. So fire. How did I react to the lead singer of Pantera being shot on stage? I didn't know he was fucking shot on stage. That I had no clue about. I'll have to look into that. That is crazy. We're almost done here, guys. If you want me to answer your question, super chat real quick, or else we will be done soon. Can you please tell me your thought on Rage Against the Machine? Rage Against the Machine is a fun band. They make some good songs. I actually listened to a handful of their songs outside of their pop hits that were really interesting and fun. I think they actually made like a crazy cover too. What's your favorite color? Probably blue, to be honest with you. I really, really like blue. Have I heard of Twilight Force? No, I have not. I am back. Thank you so much, Robert Hicks, for letting me know that. Can we hear something, Mike? What do you want to hear, Meister? What are your honest opinions on James LaBrie? I know many. Okay, so honest opinion, I think that he's not the most talented singer, but I think that the stuff that he does on their recorded albums most times is actually quite good, in my opinion. I know it's not necessarily technically great. I think he overuses his vibrato a little much. I think that's probably a way of compensating, if I had to guess. But it could also just be the fact that that's the technique that he learned. What else? I think he's a cool dude. And I can't picture Dream Theater with another singer. I don't know how it would take that, honestly. But yeah, I mean, as far as it goes, if you had to pick the weakest member of the band, I'm just saying. But even then, I still love him. I think he's great. And I totally understand why people wouldn't like him, like his voice. I can totally get that. I didn't like it the first time I listened to it, but I got used to it. I'm off to bed. Anyway, mate, great stream. Back at you, Ozzy fucking Pete. Good to see you, man. We'll be linking up on Skype soon. I'm very sure, dude. I'm very sure. Go ahead, get yourself some sleep. And fuck. Best of luck, man. I know you work those crazy hours. All right. Hey, how are you? I'm good, Callum Watson. How are you, dude? All right. I'm going to be taking one more question. And it's going to be a good one. Let's make it a good one. Why is my mouse not working anymore? Hold up. Oh, here's one. This one didn't pop up at the top for some reason. Do you think you could get used to Mustaine's voice? There we go. Now it's working. No. I really don't think I can, to be 100% honest with you. Reason being is because if you're talking about his older voice, no. Way too nasally. The tones that he hits are like slid in a weird way when he slides from tone to tone. His new voice that he did off that last album, I need to fucking figure out which album that is. Hold on. Bear with me, folks. But yeah, the last album that they came out with, which is like a year or two ago, and he did like a lower voice with a little more grovel in it. That was dope as hell. That was like super dope. Super, super, super dope. I really enjoyed that. I think it was Dystopia. Just want to double check here. Yep, it was Dystopia, 2016. All right. Yeah, I think that I could get down with that voice. If that's the voice he's going to go with from now on, yes, I can get on board with that totally. Absolutely. But as far as getting used to his old voice, like the one on Symphony of Destruction, or not Symphony of Destruction, fucking Countdown to Extinction. Sorry. No, I couldn't. Okay, guys, we are going to have to call the stream here. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chats. They're huge. I'm going to be releasing a video this week talking about a big announcement for the channel. And for me as a person, really big announcement. And I'm going to need you guys' help. I need you guys' help a lot. So Either way, I greatly appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. And I will see you very soon. Rock on.